Okay, welcome to the Ingersoll Show. This is our Alpha 001 episode, Internet. So, Economics 101. I hear often that you need to run the country like a business. And I have to disagree because a business does not print its own money. A business cannot put people in jail. A business does not provide for the national defense. There are a lot of things that differ between the United States federal government and a business. And I'm not a government guy. I've never worked for the government a day in my life. I'm a private business guy. But still, having a background in economics, I truly feel that people who don't at least have a basic understanding of economics are at a real disadvantage, because a lot of things in life and a lot of things in the way the world works are counterintuitive. So your base instinct is to follow a certain course of action, and the best move for you to make would have been to take the opposite reaction. For example, let's say you have a stock, a company's stock. Let's just say Apple at any point in their history. So when the stock's going up, and everything's going great, oh yeah, everybody wants to buy more Apple, and it keeps going higher and higher. But you were at the point of inflection to where it reached a peak, and now it's coming back down. And now people are doubting said company, just say Apple, and uh, oh well, the iPad can't make up for what the iPhone used to do or what the iPod used to do. No. Okay, and then they invent something completely different. And what you should have done is said, Apple's a great company, got a lot of great products, very innovative. It's a good company, and it got too cheap. I'm going to buy it here when it's down. Everybody else in the news, in the newspapers, on the web, oh yeah, Apple, man, they lost a lot of value. They just couldn't keep up with what everybody else was doing. They couldn't get people to buy new products because they still had the old product and it worked. Uh, Everybody's dogging it, but that's when you want to buy because it's a good company that's cheap. And when everybody's, oh yeah, this is the bomb, you're at a peak. I don't know if the peak is here or here, but you're still up there. And the Warren Buffett method of investing, as far as I understand it, and I could be wrong, is the value investing when you have good stocks that are cheap. And so that's just one example of something that's counterintuitive. When everybody's, yeah, you want to be out of there. And when everybody else is out of there, well, I'm going to poke my head in. Is there something of value? Is there an opportunity? During an economic downturn, you have an opportunity to invest to dominate your space. And when the boom times are coming during the 90s, oh man, these tech companies can't stop growing. They're going to keep just exploding. That's a sign that there's a bubble that's going to burst. And I remember 05, 06, 07 being great years. And that was the lead up to the Great Recession. And so now we're just kind of moving sideways, and we've had a bit of a recovery, but not enough to firm up the global economy, because we are in a global economy. What happens in Europe, what happens in China, what happens in Japan, what happens in the United States, what happens in South America is all interconnected. Okay, so the price of oil, for example, it's a global market for oil. You can put oil on a ship and sell it anywhere in the ocean and put it to a given market. So it really doesn't matter whether it comes from the Middle East, or whether it comes from Russia, or whether it comes from South America or the United States. The global market for oil is a global market for oil. And the reason it's taken a big downturn is because Iraq, which we blew up, is continuing to come online and build production, supply. And Iran, which had a bunch of sanctions against it, now those sanctions are lifting, And again, you have lots of supply. Demand is coming down because our vehicles are becoming more fuel efficient every single year. Every single year, somebody trains in an 11-year-old car, gets something newer that's more fuel efficient. And that's a process that's been continuing to grow. Plus, you got Tesla, you got Nissan Leaf out there going all electric. So it is an exciting time. Big fan of Elon Musk. He's doing what I would do if I had his money and his intellect and his engineering prowess. I'm glad somebody stepped up into space. I'm real disappointed the federal government has not made NASA more of a priority. Um, I swear, if you tried to sell to the American people, hey, I want to raise taxes on billionaires by 1% so we can go to outer freaking space, all in favor say aye. Aye. And I just don't understand why things can't be that simple in Congress. And I don't think anybody outside of the Washington Beltway really understands what goes on there. I certainly don't. Uh, the best model I have is simply pluralism, and that is you got different interests, be they special or be they governmental, be they from constituents. There's all kinds of interests, and they're all talking to their congressional representatives. And then what happens from there, God only knows. So, whoever your congressperson is, if they've been in Congress for a real long time, vote for the other guy. Just get him out. Just be a rebel. Not, just. I'm in Texas, it's totally red, and I vote blue. So I just vote blue to make a difference, whatever that means. Uh, just to show that my voice is heard. Do your civic duty. Vote every time. Not just on the presidential years, every 2 years. Vote for Congress. Keep your congressperson accountable. Uh, Basic economics. Okay, money is not a physical thing. Money is not a piece of paper. Okay, while this is a Federal Reserve note and it is legal tender, people think of money as being a physical thing. This is a piece of paper. There's only so many pieces of paper there can be in the world. I mean, it could be a huge number, but there's not infinite paper in the universe. Well, this is not the correct view of money. Money exists in computers nowadays. And this can go into a telling machine and no longer be a dollar in circulation. And it's now a dollar that's a digital dollar. And that can go anywhere throughout the federally regulated banking system here in the United States. So the Federal Reserve, when they play with interest rates, they're actually raising and lowering the money supply. How much of these are in the economy has nothing to do with a printing press. So the Federal Reserve wants to raise interest rates. Here's how they do it. They take a dollar out of the economy and instead they issue a bond, a piece of paper. Not the same as a dollar. Not the same. This is a bond. Now, it has the full faith and credit of the United States. Absolutely. But it's not technically M1 cash money. So, by taking money out of the economy, they're lowering the money supply. Vice versa. After the Great Recession, they kept cutting rates to almost arbitrarily close to zero. How'd they do that? They raised the supply of money big time. So there were bonds out in the market. They're trading It's a U.S. Treasury, 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, 30 year. Um, if the United States had no debt, there would be no Treasury bonds out there. So a certain amount of debt is required just for basic finance. Now, there does not need to be trillions in debt. You know that the, the debt hawks sometimes make sense and don't. So we'll talk about that later. Bond out in the market. Give me that bond. Here, have some money. That goes out. And that's how they raise the supply of money. Economics is all about supply and demand, the big X. I'm hoping you have an at least high school understanding of economics. If not, um, if not, put it in the comments and tell me what you don't understand, and I'll explain it. So, when the Fed is raising and lowering rates, what they're doing is raising and lowering a federal funds target rate. And that's what banks charge each other, and it directs activity at the Federal Reserve Bank of New York's open market trading desk. And so there's a little money supply 101 for you. Money's not, it's not a limited supply of money. A person who inspires me, named Grant Cardone, he described money as going into the ocean and taking a pail of water and taking it out of the ocean. Is there less water in the ocean because I took this bucket out of it? No. And so for 99.99% of the population, the supply of money, the trillions of dollars that trade in the global economy, there's enough out there for you to get yours. There's enough out there for you to buy and sell millions and multiple millions of dollars in any kind of business, in any kind of transaction, any kind of trade. And the global economy is not going to blink. It's only if you're going to get into multiple billions of dollars will anybody even take notice. And that is our major corporations and the global banks of the banking system. Now, I do think a debate about what the global banking system will look like in the future is a good debate that everyone should be having, and I bet you the banks agree because I'm being reasonable. Let's have a discussion. Let's work with Congress and the White House and look at how we can diversify where we can diversify and break up what we can break up. You know, different areas of the country that might be able to operate together, at least on a retail level. And then the big boys can have units that are very regulated and control trillions of dollars, and they can perform their function to perform their market duties to create markets and be able to buy and sell things. Because that's what a market is, buying and selling of anything. If one person buys a stock for $1, well, somebody just sold a stock for $1. And this person sells it for $1.01. This guy over here, okay, $1.01. And so there's somebody on each side of a transaction. All right, well, we're coming up on 20 minutes. I just thank you for suffering through this. This is my very first episode, and so the production value is admittedly horrible, and I'm very thankful to any of my future fans because as of this moment, I have no fans. So subscribe, like, share, respect everybody. Love you. Have a nice day.